The night was thick with tension, the kind that makes your skin prickle. In the flawless grid of Willow Creek, where every lawn was clipped to perfection and every mailbox stood in obedient alignment, a guttural yell tore through the silence. Ethan Caldwell stood in his driveway at 214 Maple Lane, staring at the empty spot where his handicap-accessible van should have been. The van, equipped with a wheelchair lift for his brother Lucas, was more than transportation. It was Lucas's lifeline. Now it was gone, towed away in the dead of night on the orders of Victoria Langley, the Homeowners Association president, whose iron grip on Willow Creek was as infamous as her platinum blonde pixie cut. Ethan, a 34-year-old occupational therapist, had moved to Willow Creek 6 months ago, drawn by its promise of order. The neighborhood gleamed with suburban pride, brick houses in neat rows, not a holiday decoration out of season. But beneath the polished surface, Victoria ruled with a rulebook sharper than a blade. Ethan had heard whispers of her strict HOA policies, but thought keeping his lawn tidy would keep him off her radar. He was wrong. Lucas, Ethan's younger brother, had been paralyzed from the waist down after a motorcycle accident 3 years ago. When their parents died last year, Ethan became his caregiver. The Vanafor Transit with a side-mounted lift was Ethan's solution to give Lucas independence, letting him attend therapy or sit friends. Its handicap placard was a quiet declaration of its purpose, but to Victoria, it was an eyesore defiling her pristine domain. Trouble arrived on a Tuesday morning. A notice slapped on Ethan's door. In bold red ink, it screamed, "Violation, oversized vehicle in driveway. Fine, due lot 200. Remedy within 48 hours or vehicle will be towed." Ethan frowned. The van wasn't oversized. It was a standard transit model, modified for accessibility. Assuming a mix-up, he headed to the HOA office, a sleek building by the community pool where Victoria held court. Victoria sat at her desk, typing with the intensity of a general plotting war. Her nameplate read Victoria Langley, HOA president. She didn't look up as Ethan approached. "There's a mistake," he said, sliding the notice across her desk. "This van is for my brother, who uses a wheelchair. It's not oversized, it's medically necessary." Her eyes flicked to the notice, then to Ethan, cold and unyielding. "Mr. Caldwell, the vehicle exceeds our size limits. The lift classifies it as modified, requiring board approval. Residents have complained." Her tone was final, like a judge's gavel. Ethan kept his voice steady. "The Americans with Disabilities Act protects accommodations like this. The van is Lucas's only way to get around." Victoria's smirk was razor thin. "The ADA doesn't override our bylaws, which you agreed to. You needed a variance. Move it to your garage or off-site within 48 hours, or it's towed." She resumed typing, dismissing him. Frustrated, Ethan spent that night researching the ADA and Fair Housing Act. Victoria was wrong. Federal law trumped her bylaws. He drafted a formal accommodation request, attaching Lucas's medical records, and delivered it to the HOA office the next morning, emailing copies to the board. He hoped for a reasonable response. None came. 2 days later, Ethan woke to take Lucas to a doctor's appointment, only to find his driveway empty. His heart sank. The van had been towed. He called the towing company listed on the notice. "Yeah, we picked it up last night," the dispatcher said. "Victoria Langley authorized it. It's due law 300 to get it back, plus due law 50 storage." "That's a handicap van," Ethan said, his voice tight. "Towing it OLAT's the ADA. "Take it up with your HOA," the dispatcher replied. Ethan paid the fees via a rideshare to the impound lot, retry VYing the van, but missing Lucas's appointment, which cost a due law 75 copay and a week's delay. His patience snapped. He contacted Sarah Nguyen, a disability rights lawyer, who confirmed the HOA's actions were illegal. She helped him draft a demand letter citing the ADA and Fair Housing Act, demanding the HOA stop enforcement, refund the fees, and apologize. Ethan delivered it to Victoria's office. Victoria read it, her face flushing crimson. "I don't take kindly to threats, mister. Caldwell, she said, her voice venomous. Our lawyers will shred this. Your brother's situation doesn't exempt you from our standards. This isn't a threat, Ethan said calmly. It's a legal notice. Denying this accommodation is discrimination. I'll file with HUD if you persist. Victoria stood, her blazer crisp as her tone. The board meets next week. Until then, the rules stand. Her eyes dared him to defy her. Ethan knew she saw his resistance as a personal insult. That night, he installed a motion-activated dash cam in the van and placed copies of the demand letter and ADA excerpts on the dashboard. He was ready for war. At 11:30 p.m., his doorbell rang furiously. Ethan opened it to find Victoria, smug and flanked by a tow truck driver, the truck's lights glaring. Neighbors peeked from their porches. Mr. Caldwell, she announced loudly, your vehicle violates our bylaws. I've authorized its removal. Ethan stepped outside, phone recording. MS. Langley, towing this van violates the ADA. I've requested an accommodation. You've been notified. She scoffed. Your papers don't change the rules. Proceed, she told the driver. Ethan dialed 911 on speaker. I'm reporting an illegal towing at 214 Maple Lane. The HOA is targeting a handicap-accessible vehicle in violation of federal law. Victoria's face twisted. You're calling the police on me? I'm the president. Yes, Ethan said, because you're breaking the law. The driver overheard and froze. Ma'am, if this is an ADA thing, I'm out. He retreated to his truck and drove off. Victoria's composure shattered. Do your job, she yelled, but he was gone. 2 police officers arrived, their cruisers' lights flashing. Ethan showed them his documentation. Victoria ran it about property values. Officer Daniels, the senior cop, reviewed the papers. Mr. Caldwell, you're within your rights. The ADA protects this vehicle. To Victoria, he said, ma'am, you can't tow this. Further action could be harassment. Victoria exploded. This is my neighborhood. That van's a blight. She pointed at Ethan. I'll revoke your pool access. Your gym privileges everything. Danielle's tone sharpened. Threatening retaliation for federal rights is serious. Consult your attorney. But Victoria was unhinged. In a flash of rage, she stormed to the van, pulled a key from her pocket, and scratched a deep gash along its side. Neighbors gasped. Ethan's phone and dash cam caught it all. That's vandalism, Daniel said, cuffing her. You're under arrest. Victoria's defiance melted into shock as she was led to the cruiser. The aftermath was swift. The HOA's attorney called Ethan 2 days later, apologizing profusely. The board ousted Victoria as president and board member, reimbursed Ethan's towing fees, and covered the van's repairs. Victoria faced a vandalism charge, paying due law $3,000 in restitution and a due law $750 fine, plus 6 months probation and 40 hours of community service at a disability center. At her sentencing, Victoria stood, her usual swagger gone, as the judge scolded her for abusing her power. Willow Creek residents filled the courtroom, some smirking, others somber. Ethan and Lucas left the courthouse, the spring air crisp. Lucas grinned. Think we'll like it here now? Ethan glanced at the van, its new paint shining. Yeah, he said. We will. Willow Creek changed. The new president, a kind retiree, rewrote the bylaws to protect accommodations. Ethan's van became a quiet VY Tory, a reminder that even the smallest fight for justice could shift a neighborhood's soul. As he drove home, Willow Creek's streetlights glowed, and for the first time, it felt like home. If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this VY Deo with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next VY Deo.